We're gonna be talking about today about the Chicago Cubs and how the season ended, and like what to expect and what to hope for in the offseason.
I mean, what is there to say really? You in the wild card, you beat out the Padres, which is a controversial finish, we could say.
Yeah.
And then the divisional series, you face Milwaukee. You dropped to 0-2 of the series. Then you go to Wrigley, tie it up to 2-2, and then the final game you lose it.
Yeah.
And what is there to say really? Because when this team was at its peak, I didn't even think it was a World Series contending team really.
I agree. Yeah, they had like such offensive prowess, and although there was like a lot of high highs, there was also a lot of like there was low lows. You know what I mean? We had a couple of like losing streaks, and we would lose against like bad teams, and there was a lot of times where like our bats just like would not come alive when we needed them most. Also injuries. Miguel Amaya, what he caught to bring, and then he gets healthy, and then he just gets injured in his first game back. Justin Steele, we lost him the whole season.
And I think that was big because you really needed your pitching here.
I think so. I agree, and not to mention I don't know. And it also feels like there's holes always in our game. Like earlier in the season, who was playing third baseman? Actually, I'm trying to think. Who was our third baseman early in the season? Because I know Matt Shaw was called later.
Yeah, no, he was in AAA.
I'm trying to think
Maybe
for a second.
JT.
Jason Turner did play a couple of games.
Yeah,
You're right. And that was like always a gaping hole that was kind of like just overlooked because earlier in the season, especially in March, we had just our bats were like just like the home runs were flying, and you know what I mean, Carson Kelly was going amazing in March, and like we didn't need the third baseman to be like, you know, like stellar or even like a starter level, but it really highlighted like the flaws in our team in the playoffs. We need a better third baseman. I think we need better bullpen, and not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind a better closer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm high on Palencia, but I mean, the question going into next season is what more does this team need?
Well, obviously with Kyle Tucker, Perch, he
Yeah,
might
like
come
if
back,
you
might not.
watch Jed Hoyer's press conference, I don't think Kyle Tucker is coming back.
Yeah, I mean,
just think he just wants too much money.
I don't know. It's strange because Kyle Tucker, he's a great player. You know, he was an MVP with the Astros. Even when he was healthy, and even in the early season, don't get me wrong, he was good, and he was great. But we never got that level of Kyle Tucker. We didn't get MVP Kyle Tucker from the Astros. So
I mean, he was injured for like a good month.
yeah,
if
that's
I recall.
true. That is true. But I don't know. I don't feel like we should be paying. Like he wants a lot of money, and because I wouldn't mind like. Because theoretically, if Kyle Tucker leaves, our field, the field will look like left field, Ian Happ. Because I know a lot of Cubs fans don't want him back. Because
he almost had 80 RBIs, and I'm all right with that. And he brings the defense. I mean, yes, he had his struggles, but who else would you want? Who else can you get?
You know, yeah, exactly. Who else are you gonna get? Like
don't get greedy.
Honestly, he's like one of the best left fielders defensively in the game. He's always gonna give you a solid average. Sure, he has his lows, he has his highs, but like. It wasn't all bad in the playoffs. He had like a couple of those home runs against Freddie Peralta, and what he called. So I think we keep Ian Happ, especially since he's been with the team so long. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? I'm sure he'll improve, especially.
He's the longest tenured Cub.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm all right with Seiya Suzuki at right field. The question is, who do you want at your DH? I mean, you could bring back Kyle Schwarber, but you don't know how much money he's going to want, and you don't know what the Cubs are going to be willing to spend.
True that.
And then there's Alex Bregman that just reached free agency market, but do you want to focus on the development of Matt Shaw, or do you want to go big on Breggy? That's the question. And what do you do with Happ? If you want him to stay, or do you want to walk? That's the question, really.
Hot take, I kind of feel like we should trade Matt Shaw, just because his timeline does not fit with the team. It really doesn't. Or maybe we need somebody else at third base unless he proves himself. I hope he does prove himself, but we can't keep on relying he takes this jump because we need it now. We're not gonna be able to wait, multiple years and watch our other guys get older. You know what I mean?
You either go for the home run or you focus on his development. At worst, I think during spring training you bring in competition, no matter what that looks like.
I agree.
But what else would you do?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I did not have this team being a World Series team even when they were at their best. and that's saying something.
What I will say is I feel like our starting pitchers. I feel like we have a good lineup for our starting pitchers. If we have, like I said, Steele, Boyd,
JMO, Tyone,
Tylone, and then we got Cade Horton now. And if we could get Javier Assad back healthy, Assad has always been like
up and down.
Up and down. Yeah, he has had some high highs and low lows. I am excited to see, because one thing that he always struggled with is high pitch count. He always gets like really high pitch counts early in the game, and that always kind of hinders his later innings.
And then Ben Brown.
I hope he could find his footing. He's still young. He can still find his footing.
Yeah. The thing with Ben is that his best games would be he would go 6-7 innings with 12 Ks and allowing 2 hits.
Mm-hmm.
But his worst games he would allow like 12 runs.
Exactly.
So you never knew what you were getting with Ben. But there's always improvement. So.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, I don't know what we do with Ben Brown, because like I said, he's still young. Does he fit the timeline? That's up for debate.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is really like try to like juggle these two timelines that don't fit with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Another person I want to highlight is PCA. He was amazing early in the season.
He had that slump after the All-Star break.
Yes, he did. But honestly, I know a lot of people are saying he was overrated. Like that was just like him. No. He's young. Pitchers are gonna get used to him a little bit more. They're gonna
That's why they
know what works
threw
and what
high
doesn't.
fastballs. That's what
Exactly.
he chased, and he
Exactly.
missed.
Exactly. I agree. He has it always kind of drives me insane because he tends to chase like a lot.
Yeah, the high fastball.
And he's shown that he could hit the balls he chases sometimes like early in the season. But like I said, you eventually get to the point where you're no longer like the new kid, and like people understand what you prefer, what you don't prefer. And once they realize that, they're gonna know how to target you. So I feel like we'll see a better version of PCA in the upcoming season.
I think he wins Gold Glove.
I think he does.
Yeah.
He could be a platinum glove maybe, depending. I don't know what you think about like this year's awards. Like I don't know if you have any predictions for that.
I think a few Cubs. They're nominated. A few Cubs.
I saw
right?
Swanson wasn't nominated. He wasn't though.
He is a Gold Glove.
But did you see that he wasn't nominated?
He wasn't?
I don't think he was nominated, if I recall, which kind of got me really upset because I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
But he was overlooked for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think our defense is pretty elite.
No, for sure.
Our defense is fine. It's really just the unfortunate injuries that hurt us, and it was also the fact that the slumps came in.
Yeah.
When we this is when we did not need the slumps. But there's so much you can do about it. I feel like Craig Counsell, he had those like some games where I feel like he kind of like mismanaged the team.
I think every manager goes through.
Yeah, exactly.
162 games.
This was his first season as well for Cubs. You're getting yourself orientated with like this new city.
But he was with us last year too.
Yeah. Oh no, that's true that. But like it's still. I feel like, how do I say this? It's like he's still new. He's still trying to like. Cause I get his like problem. He's trying to juggle all these people, and there's so many like parts in the game where you're like you wanna rely on especially with Ian Happ. There's a point like in the playoffs where I was like, why are we not taking him out? Like why is Craig Counsell still keeping him in?
Yeah.
And then he showed he could like he put off homers off of Peralta, but I don't know. I just always feel like he doesn't really adjust well to some things, but I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like it's just
one player that I'm very high on going into next season is Michael Busch.
Oh my gosh, Busch, yeah.
Because in the postseason, it was like
how did I forget?
He was leading off, and he got a home run every time.
Nico and Busch were the only ones that showed up in the playoffs. Well, Nico had that error.
Yeah.
Was it the first game?
The first game.
It was the first game that cost us like runs, but in all honesty, the loss isn't his fault. Like obviously he had an error, but like he more than made up for what he did in that postseason run right there.
And then during the trade deadline, you brought in depth pieces. I know you brought in Mike Soroka, but ever since 2019 or so, Soroka hasn't been his former self.
They brought in a lot of washed players. Like you said, Carlos Santana as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of his prime. Like what do you call? I don't know what they were trying to get out of him. They didn't even use him a lot. So
I think like once or twice.
Yeah. What do you call? He's not who he once was. Which obviously father time and whatnot. But
and then you brought in Willie Castro from the Twins, but I think you brought him only for his defense.
But honestly, this is my hopes. This is like high hopes as a Cubs fan would be.
For next season?
Yes, I think it's because although I wouldn't mind getting Kyle Tucker back. You wouldn't mind getting Kyle Tucker.
yeah,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
want
mind
us
either.
to like hinder our offseason by like paying him like a boatload of
Because
money.
he wants a
and then
crap ton of money, but did
does.
he earn that? And he was injured for a good month, and that kind of like hinged it,
That's true. I wouldn't be mad if Kyle Tucker returns. I wouldn't be ecstatic about it. I'd just be like, okay, well, we got ourselves Seiya stays on as the designated hitter.
What do you think they officially do at third base? Third base.
The Cubs
left
are gonna
field.
keep Matt Shaw. They're gonna
Shaw,
try
yeah.
to work with him. Like you said, they might add some depth for competition.
no matter what that.
But in
looks
all
like.
honesty, like I said, I want us to just find a better third baseman.
Yeah.
Part of me wishes, I still wish Christopher Morel would have panned out with us because he had so much power.
That's the thing. He had the power, but I don't think he had the average.
He never
if I
had that
remember correctly.
contact, and he would always get struck out. But he looked like he could have been elite. I was super upset when we traded him, but I don't think Matt Shaw is the answer either. Don't get me wrong. Maybe he proves me wrong. I hope he does. But what do you call it? As of right now, we can't wait for him.
He looked a little better when we brought him back up, and
No, that's true.
I love his arm throwing the first. I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do you think this offseason? What does it bring for the Cubs?
I think they're gonna try to run it back with majority of the main guys. I don't even see the bullpen shaking up too much, honestly. I think they're gonna mostly try to bring back Kyle Tucker, and they're gonna try to just work on the fundamentals that we kind of struggled with. Maybe shake something up in third base. But honestly, besides that, I don't see them making big splashes too much.
And that's, like I said, that's been the question. Like, what more do you need? Because I don't even know if they make the World Series. I mean, that's always the goal.
No,
but
exactly.
I don't even know if they make it next year. I think we'll make the playoffs, but are we going to be better than the Brewers? And
the Brewers are always like decent. It gets me so mad.
So, I mean, what do you need?
What I will say is
I don't know the answer to that question just yet.
our division, the Central Division, has proved they proved themselves because don't forget the Reds also made the playoffs. And that was shocking. I remember early in the season people were calling our Central Division like the worst team in baseball, and we went on to have three teams in the playoffs. Like that was
Cubs,
it's a good
and all these teams have the chance to get better. Too.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But yeah, I just hope that whatever does happen leads to us getting a deep playoff run because I don't know, because you're right. Like I don't.
Fans deserve it. They showed up.
Yeah, they did. Like again, all three losses against the Brewers were all away games.
Yeah.
What do you call? We made sure they didn't win in Wrigley, which I was happy about. I was happy about that. But yeah, it's just they just didn't answer in the last game. Really upset me. But
sure.
I guess there's not much more you can do because there's no missing piece aside from I feel like third base. And, I mean, you can improve the bullpen. But that's kind of I don't know. There's not like a big. I think they just run it back.
Left field, DH, and third base. Those are the questions that you have going into next season.
Unless you make like a Maya designated hitter and
That's the thing too. You have Carson and Miguel Amaya.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing. When you have depth on your roster, you can do so much.
Exactly. So maybe they run it back with like hopefully we don't get too many injuries on the team because that's what really I think put the nail in the coffin for the Cubs.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's the best they can do is just run it back. I mean, they got some money to work with, so hopefully they just make some improvements in the bullpen.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to end it now?
Yeah.